Welcome to the world of StarCraft. I am your host, BisuDagger. Thank you for watching this with me. We are watching the DanJJing Star League Season 3 4th place match. That's right, and we're going to be going in with a TVZ today, Mong versus Action. Both players played valiantly to get this far, of course, but they fell short of the ultimate goal, which is to win the DanJJing Star League. So they will be not Season 3 winners, but be fighting for that bronze honor. But who will be able to get it? Starting with La Mancha, with these vertical spawn positions, we will have at the top left position our player Action, and down at the bottom left, we will have the Terran player Mong. Can Action continue to perform as well as he has to get this far? I would say maybe a fluff matchup of a ZVZ in the previous round of 8, but the rest had to be fought through, the group stages, the long battles, and to get here still is really good for him. So congratulations to Action to get this far. Mong, this is nothing new for him. He's a frequenter of the 4th place match and the round of 8. Getting far but not far enough. That seems to be Mong's MO. He's a great player when it comes to the group stages. Seems to always manage to be one of the top 2 players in any scenario where there's 4 players involved. So great Terran player. And hopefully he will finally find his way. We really need a Terran player to, some fresh blood to come out here. And I think that Sharp is competing with Mong to be that new Terran player. But definitely, we'll see what he has to perform today, what he can show us, and the arts of TVZ. The hatchery gone down for Action already. We can see that a second drone is coming out and is just going to be an initial scout drone. He has to absolutely find out what his opponent is doing, what it looks like. So since the Overlord is going towards the top right position, we're going to see the drone heading down towards the south to scout out the Terran opponent. Meanwhile, Mong, he's still sheltered up inside of his base, but it looks like an SCV coming out for him too. And that scout is going to be on its way. It has given notice to that drone that it is headed in the right direction. I wonder if that Overlord will immediately start heading back or stay out on the map for Action. Okay, so the drone pokes its head in, and what it sees is very important information. Just barracks. Okay, so no gas has been procured. We've got 2 barracks that are down. Oh, no, a command center that's down here. So the command center down at the south for a fast expansion by Mong. And because the drone has scouted it, he does understand the weight of this decision-making from Mong early on. It's going to be slower for pressure by not going barracks first. Marines aren't going to be out quite yet. So really interesting here as the additional hatchery comes down. So sitting up at 3 hatch, and you can see that the extractor had been laid out too. Gas is going to be mining right away. And I wonder if it's just going to be this 2 base strong muta pressure. Because of the command center coming quickly, and just the idea that Action can have, that Mong is going to focus on SCV production early on to make use of that command center. Because if you're not producing SCVs from both command centers, I really feel like you're not taking advantage of that early expansion. So because of that early expansion here, there's 2 ways of doing pressure. You can go, okay, let's go speed right away. Let's get lots of lings. And maybe because the Marine count is low, you can start doing some damage, do a little bit of harassment early on. Or you could say, well, because the gas is going to be late, Mong might not have all the necessary upgrades to battle mutas effectively. Getting range, getting stim is going to be hugely important. Oh, and losing SCV there, pretty crucial. So the SCV not getting up inside the base to understand what Action has. Could this be a quick loss for Mong? Once Action does get up to 2 bases, or I'm sorry, to Spire, this is going to get really interesting. So the Zerglings are heading down on the map, just for some moderate harassment, some moderate scouting here. There's a couple Marines out, so those Marines can pretty much deal with the 4 Lings effectively. And chasing down that scout SCV, this is really great. Action doesn't need to get inside of Mong's base anymore. He has a rough feeling of what's going on. And so just bouncing on the outside is fine. And killing off this extra SCV. Look at, okay, so 5 Marines are pushing out of this base right now. It's just a trickle of Marines constantly streaming from the 2 racks that have been supported so far. A single medic also added in here. With the new medics, it's actually a little bit harder to see it's that white. I felt like they were just clearly pure white medics in the past. But let's not focus on that. There are Lings that are running inside the space trying to get up the ramp, and it looks like they will. Ramp's kind of large on La Mancha. Makes it a little bit easy for these Lings to get up there. Oh, the Lings going for a perfect surround here. Not a lot of medics to heal off these Marines, and just one medic remains. Mong is in a lot of trouble. So remember I was saying you could go for Speedlings early on, and that's what it looks like Action has decided to do. Is this going to be a quick 1-0? Will he actually take the lead in this series right away? I couldn't have predicted this. But he is getting punished for being so greedy with this extra command center. I think when you sense that Lings are going to be coming out, it's really important for you to get that bunker, or at least have a proper wall on your ramp to make sure these Lings don't get inside. Whether you're Terran or Zerg, you can't let Lings get up inside your main base. It's so difficult to get rid of them. All the SCVs getting pulled here, and it's just going to be too late. What the Lings are doing is they're setting up the finishing move for Mutas once they do come out. So the Mutas will be out very shortly, as the Observer did manage to go and show. The Firebat is out trying to deal with them the best they can. These SCVs have to get pulled again. Wow, these Lings are doing so much damage. Just running away from that Firebat. The Firebat is just playing chase right now. And unfortunately, these Firebats aren't getting any damage done. The funny thing is that they actually stemmed for a chase, so their health is going to be low too. They might actually be much easier to kill now, and so this is really good dodging by Action to say, okay, well, I don't see your medic, I'm just going to run away, and that Firebat will be really easy to kill off now. Here it comes. Are the turrets going to be too late? It looks like there's double turrets trying to defend that set of structures there of barracks, but the turrets are going to go down very shortly. One left, but it can't be repaired. Repair not Imba today. The Mutas and the Lings are going to be able to clear up this main base. There's nothing left now that there's no more defensive production here from Mong. I don't see how he could possibly hold on to this, but we have seen Mong actually be resilient in weird scenarios like this before. I just can't imagine. More Mutas coming in. In fact, the rallied Overlord to help with the Muta Micro has already made it to this base. So I assume that Action is going to have to find a new Overlord to put into his rally group. Alright, so 3-4 Marines. Somehow the Marines are managing to get out. That barracks has got to be getting pretty low on health too. It could be picked off if he wanted to. Yep, okay, so he does get at least one of the barracks done. If he gets these next two, there's just no way Mong can win. And GG. Alright, a quick one. A quick game number 1. Very interesting play. Alright, so we're going to have game number 2 in just a second here. And I don't do anything fancy, so just close your eyes for 2 seconds if you don't want to see the load bar screen. Alright. There we go, game number 2. Mong versus Action, game number 2 in the DanJJing Star League Season 3. I'm your host, BisuDagger, watching the 3rd, 4th place match. Welcome. If somehow you've suddenly started at game number 2, we welcome you to this 1-0 lead that Action has. Mong playing not a stellar game number 1. You can see him spotting down at the bottom right on Polaris Rhapsody, and then at the top left, it's going to leave Action. This 2-player map has proved to be the macro map of the series, and any matchup we've really seen that Polaris Rhapsody has provided very exciting games. In fact, one of the ZVZs that we saw was Action versus Larva, and in the Action versus Larva round of 4, it was probably one of the most intense and exciting games out of all the ZVZs we saw. As I don't want to spoil it for you. You need to go watch it. In fact, after I was done watching the game, I had missed something so crucial that I went back and there was a little bit of replay too. So I feel like you should just skip to that game if you have the opportunity to. Action, what is he going to do to in game number 2 here? Now he's got to understand that. Well, actually, Lings, if Mong for whatever reason did the fast expand, he would actually be in a really good position still to do the same style of attack. And the links can actually come from two different directions. There's at that 3 o'clock base, there's a good snug pathway that links can get down if they want to be able to attack in two different directions towards the natural base. So this can be a pretty deadly map for a Zerg player if you go for speedlings early on to punish a fast expansion. I don't imagine Mong's going to do it this time. He's got to understand. Well, this is a pretty quick extractor, by the way, guys. This is going to be definitely a 2-base muta build. And the extractor before the spawning pool, this is quite insane. But you can see that the refinery is coming fast here too. So this could be like a fast 3 racks plus 1 style play here for Mong. It definitely allows you to get your academy upgrades a lot quicker, or get an engineering bay and get your +1 upgrade a lot quicker. And that's what I think we're ultimately going to see, is this evolution into 5 racks after the fast engineering bay +1. Oh, but no! Oh, okay. So this is factory. Mong just letting me be completely wrong here. So the factory play coming out. And how is this going to play out? He doesn't know that it's a fast extractor, and that really Lair is going to be on its way. As soon as he finally does get a scout, it's going to be too late. No expansion here, but did Action see that there is no expansion? He's got to think that something is up. The SCV is in here, and now finally Mong is aware of the situation. There's not an extra hatchery. It's literally just 2 hatch play. 2 hatch. Meanwhile, he's got this refinery coming up, and I wonder if he's just going to go straight. Well, would he go straight to Starport? I think that Starport on this map, removing the fact that it's possible Mong does go for Starport play, is really bad, because Wraiths, despite the fact that they can traverse terrain by air, it doesn't save you any time, because the flight speed of a Wraith is actually relatively slow, in my opinion, when you've got this long distance from top left to bottom right, or vice versa. But because we're seeing a machine shop come up, and the potential, I believe, that an armory should be built up here, and a couple Goliaths can come out to deal with the mutas early on in this game. But, well, we're seeing Lings. We're seeing a lot more Lings than I expected here. Way more Lings than you would expect. And did he see the rest of those Lings in that group? So this is going to be a real Army Light build. No way! So he went Machine Shop, Vulture, into Starport. This is way too much tech, this 1-1-1 build from Mong. Yeah, I can't fathom this build, because he's just basically denied himself any amount of units early on in this game. Action is replying to it perfectly, and he's even stopping this expansion from going down. The command center getting killed off. Oh my god, and because Mong got baited into coming down to defend this command center, he almost lost the ramp. He lost his Marines. A Vulture is out now. And here comes the command center one more time. Oh, this is bad. This is so bad for Mong. So Mong, he can try and get a Wraith out. Mutas could be on the way potentially at this point. And even if these Lings get microed to death, here it is. You've got 5 mutas are going to be produced right away. Or I guess the mineral count isn't quite there. So we'll have to see. A couple mutas have been queued up, at least 3. A sunken colony at the front. Mom can't win with these 3 vultures, but he could do some pretty heavy damage if he does get drones. Kind of like in that ZVZ where you're in a very fragile economy here. If the vultures do kill off any amount of drones, it can be detrimental to Action's opening early on here. Oh, a crucial overlord that is going to get picked off just assuredly. You know, when you watch a Wraith attack an Overlord, you'd think that the Wraith would be able to kill it a lot quicker. But a single Wraith, whether it's air to ground or air to air, just fires so slowly. And here, a bunker at the front. Now you build a bunker, Mong. He is feeling the pressure here. Wants to make sure he can defend at the natural. So look at this. That turret will be good enough for sure. And those Wraiths coming out, they are They're cloaked, but there's an Overlord here. Wow, this is so key. An Overlord managed to sneak its way, and I think that Mong did a bad job of trying to find that Overlord and kill it off. The Overlord's so crucial to being able to be aggressive. Okay, so, wow. Okay, the Hydralisk Den coming up now. And what is this transition going to be for Action if this game goes long? I think a little bit of an overstretch for those mutas. They can't take on the turrets very effectively, but Action needs to find somewhere to poke with his mutas. And, well, this is perfect. The transfer SCVs are dead. That was very, very poor by Mong, not taking care of those SCVs. No way, no way to keep him alive. I think he should maybe at least baited with his wraiths to allow the SCVs to get through and not have direct shots on top of them. The 3 vultures have been pulled back, so the vultures aren't even trying to attack anymore. Mong feels so claustrophobic right now. As you watch this, the Terran player has so little surface area that he can expand within his own 2 bases. But what is the move here with these Hydralisks? Is there going to be lurker play as a follow-up here? One thing that you can see is that there are turrets, but there's no comsat station on that natural base. So if it does become a lurker play, then you know what? That natural could be in a lot of trouble, especially since all the turrets are on the back and there are no turrets on the front. Action is playing this game perfectly so far. It's completely within his grasp to win this game. Potential expansion sitting at that 1 o'clock position too. Mong still having to sit back and play very, very defensively. Now, remember, he did open 1-1-1, so he has the opportunity to tech from all different points of view, which can be good and eventually can blossom into something effective here. But right now, just Mong doesn't have anything going his way. He doesn't have a lot of units. Okay, so Spider Mines might be able to help with these Zerglings, and that's going to be really crucial here. The Spider Mines can actually deal with the Lurkers too. Remember that they can see units, whether they're above or below ground, or whether they're cloaked or not. Spider Mines are the all-seeing. That's why they have like 2 eyes that are poking out. You can see there. It kind of looks like a fly's eyes. The head of the fly is just kind of poking out. I guess it's supposed to look like spider eyes. Hence the name. But any sort of insect works. 4 lurkers here. What's the technology for the Overlord? Any sort of drop available? It would be nice if the Overlord could get in here so he could pick off those spider mines that are on the ground. The wraiths are forced to cloak here. Okay, so if the Lings do run in, a nice pickup on that bunker, by the way. But if the Lings run in, they can maybe drag the Spider Mines. They've got to drag the Spider Mines. Oh! So it just gives... No, the Lurkers are going to have to pull back. They're going to pull back here. An unsuccessful first attempt with these Lurkers. Okay, so now they burrow. This supply depot should definitely go down. The bunker should definitely go down. Wow, this is a very intense battle for Mong, who's going to have to hold on to here as best as he can. Irradiate comes down. This is really bad for the mutas, so the mutas are going to get killed off. Maybe Mong is gonna win this at this point, because it looks like this is a pretty failed attack. Yep. Oh, 1-1-1, so good if you hold off that far. All right, ties it up. Irradiate, what an awesome spell to have. Really pulls things back in your favor. Alright, I'm pulling the next video up. Close your faces if you don't want to see it. Alright, here we go. Transistor! Welcome everybody to DanJJing Star League Season 3. We're watching 3rd, 4th place match. I am your host, BisuDagger. We're watching the map Transistor with Mong down at the bottom right-hand position, and then you're going to see Action at that central 9 o'clock position. If you somehow missed game number 1 or game number 2, game number 1 went in Action's favor, and game number 2 went in Mong's favor. So Mong swinging that pendulum of momentum back towards his direction, saying, I got you. My 1-1-1 is broken. All right. So this is, again, a weird map early on for Terran to defend. There's a double ramp on the left and right side. Lings can be very effective early on. So what is Mong going to choose to do? Will he get that fast expansion that failed him in game number 1? Action already looking for his potential expansion, I'm guessing. Oh, here comes the spawning pole. Fast spawning pole here. And no, that's just a drone going for the scout. Okay. Is this going to work? The fast spawning pole, the cheese out by Action. Oh, and he does the drone trick. He does the drone trick. So not only do we have 9 pull, but we have the the trick to be able to get an extra drone so he can mine just a little bit faster. The Overlord going to be coming out very shortly though, because it's crucial that he has the Overlord ready so he can build links once the spawning pole finishes up. Okay, so he knows that his opponent has not spawned at that top position. His opponent is building a refinery right now and not building out units. This looks like almost an assured GG, but I don't want to predict anything too quickly. Mong held on really good in game number 1. He does have a barracks. He does have a barracks here, but it's almost like he needs to build a bunker immediately after if he wants to be able to defend against this. The drone does the scout. I wonder if Mong is going to get scared seeing that the drone scouted him out so quickly. What the drone can do, though, is potentially block any buildings that will get laid out. So the Lings, the first 6 Lings, are going to be on the way. 500 APM from Action as he's gearing himself up. He's warming his hands up for the epitome of this game, the pinnacle of this game is about to occur. I don't imagine it's going to go any longer than this. Oh, here comes a factory build. A potential 1-1-1 again. Meanwhile, the Lings do come in here. The SCVs can kill very quickly on these Lings if surrounding correct. But not quickly enough. A Marine pops out. It's getting chased down. The high damage dealer, but lightweight in armor. Not going to be able to hold on here. It does get picked off. The SCV is still scrambling around. Another Marine is assuredly going to pop out very, very quickly here. The Marine build time is so fast, but it's not fast enough. Oh man, so many Lings here, and the SCVs are just getting shaved away one at a time. I don't imagine Mong can hold on to this too much longer. He's going to have to take the 4th match if he wants to win this series. GG from Mong. What a quick game number 3. Action taking the lead. Oh, good Terran map next. A good Terran map next. Alright, game number 4. Give me a second. Close your eyes. Here comes the next one. Bam. Gotta take a second to breathe here because I haven't given myself any breaks. We're plowing through this. Why? Because I'm excited to cast the finals. After this, I'm going to cast the finals. Not in a row. You're going to have to find the next VOD. But, yeah. We have Fantasy, which I believe is a better Terran map in TVZ. And Mong spawning at the left side. At that, like, 11 o'clock-ish position. And then at the top right position, it's going to be Action. It's like a... You think about the belly button being considered an innie or an outie. And, yeah. What is this SCV doing? Hold on. Okay. It looked like the SCV got like, weirdly rallied or mismicroed. But the barracks is going to be coming up. But anyway, you've got your innie and outie belly button, and that's kind of what your expansions are in this map. You either have your innie or outie or outie main bases. So, Action, he got his first Overlord. He's not going for that 9-pull build again, and it's a little bit harder to scout out your opponent. It could take a little bit longer, considering that this is a 4-player map. But he's got another Overlord coming out, spawning pool coming down, so we still have a pretty fast spawning pool, you know, over getting an additional hatchery. So that's critical to know. This barracks looks like it's about to land on the low ground here, and Mong potentially going for a cheesy-ish game himself to be able to take game number 4. I think that's important for him. He doesn't know what Action is going to do. He should just break out the cheese himself, make this a little bit of a wine and cheese party, and take us to game number 5. The expansion now coming down for Action, but Action, you know, he could be going for 2-base Speedling all in. Huge potential here for that. And I think that would really, really suck for Mong, who already lifted his barracks and exposed his barracks to the map. So I guess it's going to save these Marines a little bit of travel time on the ground now that he has put his barracks in that location. What is it? Every 22 seconds, a new Marine is going to be popping out. So another Marine getting out on the map. Nothing seen by Action yet because his Overlord has traveled more northly than any other direction. But Lings are out. Lings faster than Mong may have expected. This SCV is going to be crucial here to kind of tank some damage and add that buffer of health. It's basically like a moving battering ram here, as that SCV needs to stay in front of these Lings and while they micro on the map. So 3 Lings are out, or 4 Lings are out versus 3 Marines. I think the Lings need to just go to the barracks. Just completely give up on these Marines. But no, they're going to engage instead. What? Drones come out. Action brings the drones. He says no. Instead of trying to go counterattack, I'm just going to deal with it right here. And it's over. It's over already before it can begin. The bunker's going to get taken out. Mong has not been able to do anything that he's wanted to in this series. I love these aggressive openings coming out from Action. He's playing perfectly. And Aspire is on its way. Wow. So the Lings are heading to this barracks. The barracks has to get lifted, which means, guess what? No Marines are being produced. I don't see how Mong wins this series. I just think Action completely has everything in his favor. But it's going to come down to look some Vulture Micro. Can it kill off these Lings? Meanwhile, dual starports inside Mong's base. He wants to hold on here. He wants to be able to deal with the Muta threat, and he's just going to do that with double starport. This might be enough, actually. This might be enough. That Vulture warded back those Lings. The Lings are no longer going to be assisting on the ground. Now, I see that that Action canceled that creep colony because he has a firm understanding now of what's coming out for Mong and says, all right, I don't need to worry about the ground threat. No more Vultures are coming this way. And in fact, he's going to bring his Lings back out again because he knows that his Lings aren't feeling any threat either. So as long as nothing leaves on the ground here and gets past these Lings, there's no more offensive capabilities by ground for Mong. And it's going to be solely by air. Oh, these Vultures still too strong again. No way that the Lings are going to get inside. This Spire has finished up. You can see its HP at max, which means that the Wraiths, or the Mutalisks, will be heading out across the map shortly. So the additional Extractor being added at the natural base. So two base Spire play really starting to roll out for Action. But will the Wraith count get high enough? Will it be high enough? I think that right now, Mong needs to focus on hunting down some of these Overlords and picking them off whenever possible. Oh, but it's an exposed Wraith. Cloak isn't ready yet. And in fact, there's no turrets here. Mong has not played well at all. He's not in a defensive position yet to be able to deal with the Muta count. It's just come out too quickly here. The Wraith is getting so low on health. Finally, the Cloak does come. And basically the cat and mouse play has been reversed. It's like that mouse got giant so quickly, and now it's a behemoth mouse chasing down the cat. Mutas retreat to the shelter of their Overlord, trying to hug inside those tentacles as the floating jellyfish makes it back home. Still, there is no aggression from Mong. He's still sitting on one base. These turrets are finally coming up. But what I fear is what will come on the ground. Mutas, sure. Mutas are in a pretty good number here. But I think that if Action can find a good way to bring his Lings out and attack effectively against turrets, clear them out, and allow the Mutas, along with an Overlord, to do their damage, this can be a very, very scary attack. But It's pure mutas. So the ground speculation isn't going to be there. Oh, these vultures could do some nice damage, though, if they sneak out and around effectively. Why are they going towards the bottom left? I guess to scout out, make sure there aren't any roaming lings, that there's no expansion. Oh, but the mutas, they were kind of sensing it too. They wanted to make sure that there was no ground threat of the vultures. Oh, Mong doing a great job here. He's going to scout out that there is an additional base at the south. This is the first game in 4 games now that we're actually seeing a third base being taken. Now, we've gotten up to 3 hatcheries with action, but an actual third base being taken here as a potential economic game could be on its way. Still, no natural base taken from Mong. He's still sitting on 1 base, but this is going to show the power of Terran. If Mong can climb out of this hole and win off of just this 1 base or take it to a late game and win, he's going to show us how strong Terran can turtle up. The Scourge going down pretty quickly here. The cloak from these Wraiths, they can't seem to get in with that Overlord. The Overlord has speed now, which allows it to micro really well with the Mutalisk at this point because it has to stay with the flock and stay alive. Really good decision making here from he gets the Overlord. Another one comes in. Not the good decision making I was talking about for action. It was a good idea though to get speed Overlord. Very, very crucial. But the mutas, you can see that they're attacking towards the south again. The vulture threat has been taken care of by those lings. The hatchery still remains alive, and now action can start putting drones at that additional hatchery if he wants to. Mong's still trying to hold on here as the Muta and the Scourge count just gets higher and higher. The double gas is what makes it really difficult here. Oh, okay, so Armory's done. Valkyries have got to be in this mix. The Valkyries are the next crucial unit to tech up into this early game battle that we're seeing. 9 minutes into the game, no expansion for Mong, and he's got to be thinking, I'm going to starve for minerals soon if I don't expand out of this. Yeah, he is flush with SCVs. But how many SCVs do you continue to produce when you're on 1 base? Alright, 52 supply to 61 supply. 3 drones were heading out. 3 drones, it looked like, in the wrong direction as the observer manages to point that out. The Scourge trying to come in here again. Wow, lots of damage coming from that Valkyrie. Action wasn't focused here, and he took a lot of damage. Alright. So he has 2 Scourge ready. Look at those 3 drones going in the wrong direction. Now they're finally heading back. There's still a lot of mutas out. He needed to get that Valkyrie. Alright, so a 3rd gas makes this very, very difficult for Mong now. With a 3rd gas, he can basically outnumber the killing capabilities of the Valkyrie. If only a science vessel was out here too, because a science vessel with the radiate would be even better than the Valkyrie. But 2 Valkyries in here can be very critical. And the tough thing is that the Valkyries really do blend in with that Wraith very, very effectively. The problem is that you can't use Cloak anymore, because as soon as you cloak your Wraiths, you've sacrificed your Valkyries to save your Wraiths, because that would be the only visible unit at that point. So it's kind of funny in that regard. Oh, +1 carapace, by the way, has finished for the Air Arsenal of Action. I think this is very, very smart. Now, I wonder, you see that the Hydralisk is finished and that there's going to be more ground play coming from Action. But I was thinking maybe the potential of a Queen's Nest and getting a Queen out to try and goop up the Wraiths and slow them down, so that way they couldn't avoid Scourge when the Scourge come in. Now, Hydralisks are actually very, very effective against Wraiths. So if the Hydralisks get in a good position here, they could kill off these Wraiths very, very quickly. Oh, the Scourge going to seek in here. Great job by Mong to be able to pick up this initial Scourge. But it looks like, no, he doesn't get all the Valkyries. The mutas are still really, really low on health. Here comes the Scourge one more time. And the Wraiths cannot defend the Valkyries here. The mutas still in a hot pursuit. The rates look like they're going to at least scare away the Mutalists, scare away the rates at this point. Excuse me, losing my voice here. But the race still in hot pursuit. With that cloaking, the Overlord staying back, a lot of rates are getting picked off. Mong only has 49 supply, despite the damage it looks like he's dealing. And look at this, there's a set of blue heading over towards the natural of Mong's base. What does Action have over there that he's preparing to do? He's definitely got something cooked up. It looks like it's going to be lurkers. Alright, 3 lurkers heading over towards the natural. Remember, Mong is getting starved for minerals at this point. He's got to have a very, very little income. One lurker is actually enough to just kind of block that natural, keep it from doing anything. A dropship coming out here trying to unload units. But I think that this dropship's going to get seen. Oh, so close! So close, but the lurkers on the low ground do not see it. Alright, so this biomatic force heading over towards the third base. There's no way that Action loses this. I feel like, yes, it's seen. There's a lurker that's going to get landed down here. Even with a scan, Action knows that he has to bring some units over here, and that it's critical he keeps the third base alive. Just sacrificing a bunch of mutas on top of the bioforces. The lurker does get down. The rates are going to be too late. And oh my god, with the overlords coming in here, that's going to be it. GG. Whew. Wow. Action winning 3-1, just completely rolling over his opponent here. Again, what a great start to today's casting. Guys, this is the DanJJing Star League Season 3, 3rd, 4th place match. We see that Mong lost to Action. Congratulations, Action, to coming in and getting his first medal in a tournament since the end of the Kespa era. So, awarding himself a bronze. Alright, there's going to be another video coming up shortly of Best versus Larva in the Grand Finals. Who will win that matchup? Hard to say, but you'll hear more about that in the cast. Thank you for watching on BisuDagger again. Find more of my VODs on the BisuDagger YouTube channel. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next one.